Hi, welcome back. I'm Susan from SusanAfter60.com. Today's video is just going to be a tiny bit different than what I normally do. It's not going to be full of fashion tips and makeup tips and the like. I'm just going to tell you a little story and talk about what I was doing last week. It was so funny because some people took a wild guess and they wrote and asked if I was going to go to Florida and would I come and help them clean out their closet. And I said, no, I'm not coming to Florida, but that sounds like a fun project. We will have to do that the next time I come down. Another lady wrote and asked if Mr. Mickey and I were going to run away and get married. No, that's not right either. We're very happy with just being best friends and great companions, and we love each other dearly, but at this stage in life, there's really no reason to complicate things by getting married. So we're perfectly happy with our separate lives, but coming together to enjoy life and do fun things together. Another lady wrote and asked if I was going to get a facelift. That's not right either, obviously, but I don't have any plans for that either. What I did do all week was inventory. I have a company that has more than 2,500,000 pieces, and all of those components, there's 4 tablets here, and I went through 3 of these ink pens, emptied them completely. The girls in the office counted all the pieces individually. We have more than 5,500 unique items, but there are tons of those within those 5,500 items. And also all of the office equipment, everything had to be counted and accounted for. But I'm the only one that knows the wholesale value of all of those jewelry components because some of them are rare and came from France and all over the world, and I've had some of them for a long time. And I know the history of each piece and approximately what I paid for it. So that was rather time consuming, but I thought it would be fun to also show you some of the jewelry that I used to make. I had over 200 boutiques and galleries, and I started the company at my kitchen table in 1989 with about a $6 investment. And I taught myself over about a year period of going to the library every chance I got. This is before the computer age. And I would look up all of the sources for the components that I needed and all of the information about jewelry styles and designs. And I taught myself how to make jewelry, and then I taught myself how to market that jewelry, all while I was working as a manager in the mall of a retail store. So I had lots of things going on for quite a few years. 3 years, I think I actually worked 2 full-time jobs. But once I stopped working, I started making all different kinds of jewelry. This is a piece of jewelry that I made that was actually shown in a magazine. The magazine is probably in the attic. I haven't been able to find it, but this is a button from the Czech Republic, and it is actually antique. So it was made during the time of when it was Czechoslovakia. And Bavarian beads and antique brass stampings and findings and that kind of thing. Now these are this is one of a pair of earrings that I made, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago for a special project, but you can see there's many pieces of filigree and stampings and different units that have crystals and beads and that kind of thing. But that's the kind of jewelry I used to make in the 90s, and that's what was selling so well in all those boutiques. Very ornate, romantic, dramatic pieces. Then my hands gave out, and in 2000 I started selling components and teaching other women how to make jewelry, and that blossomed into a huge business that I had 7 employees at one time, and I had to buy a 4,000 square foot warehouse to put everything in, and I just feel really blessed that it happened to be that successful. It was a lot of hard work and I planned a lot, but one of my, let me get this right with the cameras. So this is what I'll just have to do it this way. One of my students made this. She was so talented, and she did a lot of things for a cancer group in California. Her name was Willie, and she's since passed away, but she was a very dear friend and just a very talented woman, and that's one of the pieces that she made, and I bought it from her because I wanted something to treasure and remember her by. But I've met some wonderful people, and I've had such a great experience, but it's time to turn that business over to Regina. She's going to buy it from me, and hopefully I've sold the building and that transaction will be completed by March 1st. And I can calm down and just have maybe 1 or 2 jobs instead of 3 or 4. It'll be really a pleasant stage in my life, something to look forward to, actually. And there's one other thing I was going to tell you about before I go today, so that you would also learn a little bit about my history, perhaps. I was on a plane going to New Orleans from Virginia Beach once, and I got upgraded to first class because I forfeited my seat on an earlier flight because they had overbooked. So I was sitting in first class, and I was dressed as I normally do for travel. I probably had on a business suit. But a man came and sat beside me in first class, and after he'd had a couple of glasses of wine and we had chatted for a while, he felt very comfortable, asking me if he leaned over and he said, "So, did you inherit or did you marry well?" I was not amused. I told him I own my own company that I started from scratch, and I work long, hard hours for everything I have. And I've achieved what I have in spite of the last husband. And I did it myself. I didn't inherit, I didn't marry, I never married well. So yeah, that was pretty interesting. It just struck me as odd. I'm sure that if his seatmate had been a man, he would never dreamed of asking such a thing. But those are the things that happen in life that just make you wonder what's going on. And I'm happy to see that women are coming into their own these days, and that they're getting paid for the job they do and getting recognized for that job. And I just say more power to us. It's about time. Life takes lots of twists and turns, and I'm glad that I made it this far, and I'm glad that you've joined me. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan from SusanAfter60.com. Bye.